Hi there. So in this video that I'm going to answer a question from a viewer that asked a question below one of my videos from a few days ago, the one titled Real Love is Reflecting Others' Self-Love Back to Them. And the question was basically sort of the subject of that video was coming to a place of radiating your love outwards and inspiring others to want to come to that kind of a place within themselves, as opposed to, trying to prop people up or, fill their void of self-love within themselves for them, to instead, live by example, basically, is the basic concept. But so somebody asked below that video, that sounds nice, but how do you actually do that? How do you actually get to that place of not being manipulated by people, not feeling obligated to, try to help people in such a way that you're enabling them, and, finding proper boundaries and coming to that place of genuinely, feeling that self-love and reflecting that in how you live your life. So I just thought that I would, do the best I can to answer what is a kind of a complex, difficult question, with no, nice, straightforward, easy answers of how to actually bring about genuine results in that regard. But what came to mind, a couple of different things. One of the most important sort of first steps in that process is really to get to know yourself better, who you really are beyond the societal expectations of who you should be, and the judgments placed on you, and the guilt that people use to pull people around and manipulate them and keep themselves in the state of denial that they want to be in by keeping others around them in that state of denial and not allowing them to be free. So, getting to know yourself, and one of the best ways is, discover what you actually want to do and then do it. Doing things alone, going for hikes in the woods by yourself, just to give yourself that time to contemplate, to look within, and figure out what's really going on, what's within you deeper than that which seems to be recognized by society, and just to kind of prioritize your life and figure out what do you actually want to do, what direction do you want to be going in, and what's really in there, what do you really want for this life, what beyond meeting the expectations of others, what do you really want to be doing, and so figure out what some of those things are, write up a list or something. Maybe you want to practice yoga, jot that down, make that an intention, keep your eyes open. You've probably walked past, who knows how many flyers for yoga classes, but once you make that intention, you're going to notice these things more, and then that can be an avenue to, getting involved in something that could, very deeply affect you and propel you along your, journey of self-discovery. So, figure out what you really want in your life, and take the necessary steps to actually move in that direction. Now, a very powerful way that people manipulate others is through guilt, and I mentioned that a couple minutes ago. And it can definitely be a challenge to counter people who wield guilt in such a way as to get people to do things, and the ultimate solution to dealing with that is to find strength within, because all that people are doing is triggering your own guilt that you have within, that you're not good enough, that you're not doing the right things, that if you do what you really want to do with your life, and that's neglecting others necessarily, and being selfish. And so the only way that someone else can manipulate you with guilt is if you feel guilty inside, and they're tapping into that, and pulling you around by what's already inside you. And the antidote to guilt is to come into greater self-knowledge, come into greater inner strength, and in so doing come to just a more of a certitude that you have a right to live your life as you choose, and people can fuck off if they're going to try to throw guilt trips on you, and so that when you actually are helping people, you're doing so from a place of genuine desire to help them, as opposed to just fulfilling obligations. Our society is so just pervasive with people simply following orders, doing what they're expected to do, and not coming from a place of genuine passion and desire for the life that they're living and the actions they're carrying out. And as a result, you end up with a society of people who aren't very alive, who aren't living their passion, and that lack of passion is what pervades everything and creates a unhappy society, plain and simple. So recognizing that personal will, personal desire is valid, is important. And if you're denying your own personal will and desire, then you're going to deny it in others. And there's nothing heroic about being self-denying, because it just means that you're basically helping to create a reality in which everybody is feeling obligated to deny themselves in order for others to be happy, and then nobody ends up being happy. So those are a few ideas. Another is to acknowledge and embrace yourself for your faults, and to just come to that place of acceptance that do any of us have lives of gleaming perfection, of no faults, no mistakes, no screw-ups, no bad choices? Nobody does. We all have our shadow side, as they say, and that's just part of life and being human. And to sometimes you have to bring to greater light that which you want to release and get beyond. So we carry lots of feelings of guilt and regret and shame within ourselves for various things that we've done in our lives, and for the most part we just try to kind of push those things away and just forget about it and move on. And what tends to happen as a result of that is you just have nagging doubts creeping up from the subconscious, and just this general negative self-talk, putting yourself down and saying, oh, you're not going to be able to accomplish that because it didn't work the last time, and telling yourself that you're not going to be good at such and such because of past experiences, and it can be helpful to actually focus on some of those things more as a way of releasing them. And I did a video a couple weeks ago titled The Awkward Meditation Technique, in which I suggested just to meditate with the intention of thinking back over all of the bad calls and mistakes and screw ups and embarrassing incidents and everything like that in your life, just to kind of, bring it to the surface and really to let it go in the process. And so, something you could do is write down on a piece of paper, all the things that you feel bad about in the past, relationships you screwed up and mistakes you made that ended up hurting people, and embarrassing incidents and decisions you made that resulted in not the best things coming about in your life or in somebody else's life, and just to jot those down in order to get them out of your head, and then just forgive yourself for them, and just be like, okay, I'm here to improve myself, not to get it all right the first time, but to learn from my mistakes and take responsibility for my mistakes and grow and evolve through them and become a better person, and just accept yourself for those mistakes, and send yourself love and forgiveness, and then conversely, the other side of that could be to do the same thing for other people, people that you judge in your life for how they harmed you or how their screw-ups messed up your life, or just things that they did that you disagreed with and have judged them for ever since. Just to make a conscious effort to forgive yourself and others for mistakes in life, and all these different kinds of inevitable imperfections, as a result of being human. And then, there's really countless different ways to tackle this idea of coming to greater self-love and self-acceptance, and greater confidence and self-assurance in life, and do things like get involved in activities that inspire you and find your creative outlet, and surround yourself with people who you like to be around, and let those relationships go that aren't serving you, and just to make a shift in your intention in your life of I've had it with life sucking, with things not being how they want to be, and now I'm going to instead of wallowing in my misery and complaining and whining and moping around and wishing things were different, I'm going to see what I can do to make a difference. There's a balance to be found between doing and being. Just being, enjoying, soaking up the moment, just being here with whatever you're experiencing, and accepting the moment, while simultaneously recognizing that we create our reality, we set the direction for our life, and nobody else is going to do it for us. And there's a place for inspired action, and if we really want to make a change in our life, we have to take the initiative and take those actions that will move us forwards in our life towards that that life that we want to have, to a life where we're thriving in the moment and living with passion and joy and creativity, in abundance, that we are overflowing to others and infecting others with joy and happiness and inspiration and positive affirmation. So there you go. A few ideas to think about on how to come into greater self-acceptance and self-love. Take care. Have a good day.